You are not Char Aznable. Please stop blindly running into a group of enemies and fighting them in open spaces. Stay together, idiots. I've lost so many matches because people can't figure out the absolute basic thought of apes strong together.
You are not going to accomplish anything by running off like an idiot on your own. You will just get ganged up on and murdered by 4 guys working together.
For the love of God, stick with your teammates. I'm tired of losing what should have been an easy match because someone thought they were Char Aznable himself, only to actually be nameless Federation Pilot A.
The primary reason I keep losing is because my team is full of waterheads that act like they are afraid to fight the enemy team.
Don't be a lone wolf. Can y'all stop going off on your own? Stay together, or else you will lose. While you're off doing whatever you think you're doing, your allies are getting ganged up on and stun-locked from all sides. Always move in teams of a minimum of 2 or 3, never by yourself. You're not going to be the lone hero who grasps victory for everyone. You're going to be the lone reason your team lost. You are not an ace pilot. Stop trying to solo the entire team by yourself. This isn't a fucking anime, and you're costing the team entire rankings. For the love of all fuck, it is not hard to stay near your teammates. On God, this game is half dead because you drooling fucks think you're a walking one-man army no matter how many wins you cost the team. Stop trying to solo everything. You have teammates for a reason. I actually really want to call my team Dogwater now. No one checks the score, and when you are about to win, they rush in and they die. Please uninstall if you have a monkey brain. How are some of you so bad? You contribute nothing and you feed. How are you that awful? Is it on purpose? Are you trying? Are you okay? Stop trying to lone wolf. This is not a lone wolf game. The entire team can't just split up while the opposing team stays together and insta-slaughters you all one at a time. You are not Char Aznables, etc. Please start trying to actually work as a team if you're going to play this game. You are not Char Aznable.
Please stop camping when you're losing. Camping does nothing to help your team make a comeback when they're behind. All you're doing is leaving your team at a numbers disadvantage, causing them to get picked off one by one and making the points difference larger. Stop sitting in the back of the maps. It does not help you win games. If you play super passively, then the enemy will sit at your base and pick you off while constantly advancing and taking points. If you are a stealth unit, then do stealth things. Go around capturing beacons or killing off stragglers. Don't just face tank the enemy hoping that you will be the deciding factor. You will not be a benefit to the team. If you see someone spamming advance into the chat, then that is me. And if I am doing that, it means that I am saying to stop being passive as hell and start trying to push the enemy. Please, for the love of God, stop playing this game like it's Siege, and you are on the defense side. Some of the most brain-dead people in the history of humanity play this game. They make Cody squeakers look intelligent by comparison. They make people on /Paul/ look educated. They make the various single-celled organisms that are born and dead within microseconds look like Albert Einstein. How do these people put on socks, let alone download a video game? Can we please stop knocking down teammates for their kills? I'm not talking about heat-of-the-moment fights either. I'm talking about you 1v1ing someone and taking them down to a single hit, and some retard with a brain disease comes soaring through some distant part of the map to make the tiniest scrap of damage and getting full fucking credit. To all the tryhards with edgy names, you are not the main character. Support units have other weapons besides melee. Stop staggering teammates. Your individual score doesn't matter. Learn to play the game or do everyone a favor and uninstall. Please stop using down melee attacks on a single enemy when you also topple more than one teammate. It's a horrible trade-off, puts everyone in danger, and probably won't get you closer to a kill anyways. What the fuck are these brain-dead teams? Seriously, does anyone know how to play this game? Stop stealing kills from the ace in ace match. Your team gets 3 times more points if your ace kills the enemy. Stop caring about your KD and leave badly damaged MS to ace. Just because you are ace doesn't make you God or Amuro. Stop trying to 1v1 the other team. For real, just because you got selected for ace does not mean you can keep jumping into the middle of the enemy team and win. You did not get special powers, and we can't save you from those odds even if we all tried. You are a big target now, and everyone's going to want to kill you. Get kills when you can. Retreat anytime it looks like more than 3 of them are coming. And the biggest bit, stop letting ace go to your head. And no, you're not a new type. Is it really that hard to support each other in a team game? Your kill-death ratio does not matter. So why do you keep playing solo aggressively at the start of the match, then consistently hiding in the last 2 minutes? Was that kill steal really worth knocking the other 3 of us down? You do realize we're all in big robots, so trying to take up the whole road, path, and lane means none of us can shoot the people who want you dead in front of you? Notice how the other team is grouping up at least 2 to 3 versus 1 and getting kill after kill? Can we maybe do the same? And last, do you really need to be a kill-stealing douchebag and dash all the way over there to try and get that kill? Or can you help me take out the other guy running at us guns blazing? 2 bad habits you rookies need to break now. 1. Stop with the base bombs. You're just pissing off everyone who already understands the game when you do it. Planting a bomb does nothing but take you out of the fight for at least a minute and a half from start to finish if you guard it. You're begging a team who understands this to rush your team down and crush them while they outnumber them. There are very specific circumstances when it's okay to base bomb, and 99% of the time y'all ain't got it. If you're planting a base bomb under the 1 minute mark, you have a very special place in Gundam Hell with seats next to IOK, Raul Le Creuset, most of the Titans, and every other prick this franchise has to offer. 2. Stop ejecting out of your motherfucking mobile suits before they're destroyed. You are wasting your time, beyond useless, and once again leaving your team down a suit longer than needed. Keep shooting and go down with your suit. At the very least, you'll deal more damage. Please stop jumping out of your suit in the middle of a firefight. Like, I get it. Sometimes you're keeping in the thick of it. Your legs get cracked. You gotta get a bit back on there so you can walk again. It happens. Get a bar on there, and you won't get crippled by the first 4 Vulcan shots that hit you. I understand. If you've been backing me up, I'll even cover you. But please God, do not fucking bail on your homies while the other team is fucking their ass. Because your gunner Gundam took a boo-boo while you were sitting on the cliff in Arctic Base, whiffing all your shots and watching the Gelgoog get chain staggered. Friendly fire. How the fuck are people not aware of this? Like having allies just hug my back to just shoot me and getting me in deep shit, like what the fuck? Stop downward slashing teammates. If you want to melee someone who still has over half his health bar, don't look towards your teammate and do a downward slash. When you stagger or knock me down, it's usually after you've knocked over the enemy, and now you've screwed us both. I'm down. You probably don't do a lot of damage, and he gets up before me, with iframes making him invincible temporarily. You can die while I'm still getting up. Then he can get away or have an advantage on me. If you see a bulky raid suit engaging someone with a sword out, back off for a second and use whatever focus beam or high damage ballistic weapon you have after he knocks the enemy over. I don't care whose name shows on the screen, as long as the enemy MS is dead and the team gets the points. Stop trying to protect your hacker teammates. If you see some easily noticeable cheater just spamming tackles for infinite iframes or spamming their cooldown weapons just infinitely, just let them die alone or actually downslash them and knock them out of the fight. Stop encouraging these kinds of people to play this game for fuck's sakes. Stop playing this game like Evolution. GBO2 is unforgiving and clunky like Dark Souls. You have to plan your melee combos and lead your targets. Don't get grouped on or you will die. Spawn with your team or you will die. Also, buy the HP components so you can take damage before you die. Level vitality, dummy. I'm going to stun lock you and chop you in half with melee, so stay with your team until you get good. Scrubs. So why do you all choose to disengage the pilot you're currently fighting and switch to mine when they are on their last hit? Maybe get better at the game if you are struggling to finish 1v1s. Sincerely, a concerned pilot and teammate. Please stop ignoring teammates that are being attacked in your area. Unless you can easily secure a valuable kill or can land a focus shot for massive damage, preventing the enemy from making points is more important than doing a bit of damage to an enemy unit. Please stop ignoring your radar. The radar is your most essential tool in any match. Ignoring your radar sets you and your team up for flanks and backstabs. Watch your position in your team's formation. Are you on the outside? Then it's your responsibility to watch out for flanks and react early. Please stop getting hung up on kills and duels that pull you away from the rest of the team. Try to stick together so you can flank enemy units. It often takes just one more enemy, and your equal duel turns into points for the enemy team. Watch the radar. Learn to read your team's intentions and act accordingly. Stop standing on roofs. You're not giving out consistent damage or staggers. You're whiffing half your shots and landing the rest into your team. You're not doing what your suit is supposed to. You're either ignoring half your kit or using a suit that has no kit. You're not drawing the enemy raid's attention. You're dying to it in seconds because there's no one to peel him off of you, and you don't know how to give yourself some breathing room. You're not giving your team a safe area to fall back to. You're giving the enemy team an easy artillery kill. You're not covering another angle. You're sitting on a dead sight line because everyone's figured out that corridor isn't worth bothering with until the raid violates you. Just stop standing on roofs. Keep a bit behind your team, close enough that you can keep your uptime up and actually set up your bros, far enough that you're not getting chipped by generals, and in the right spot that you getting shredded by a raid might catch your team's eye on the radar if they're not tunneling in on a single guy while the other three get behind them. If you're gonna insist on sniping and standing on buildings, run something like Gunner, Hyzak Custom, or Shazar B that can maintain fire, or something like Gira Heavy Arms or anything with the anti-ship rifle so you can heavy stagger people and reposition every few shots so you can see the raid coming, get out of artillery, and get your sightline somewhere useful. Please also don't run Zaku 1 Sniper ever. It just attracts the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet who think, oh, I have a beam sniper rifle, I'm gonna plink people along this useless corridor. If you do, the Magella is a heavy stagger. Use that and fill the gap with the Sturmfaust that I know you use. It splashes on my maneuver armor every time you get spooked by your rifle not doing anything. Back up your team with it instead. Stop destroying pilotless mobile suits when friendly pilots are stealing it. When your teammate's pilot is literally right next to it trying to override it. A stolen MS keeps an enemy pilot out of the fight for 1 minute till it explodes, which gives your team the kill still. It literally turns the game into a 6v5, but people keep destroying them, and it's annoying to lose a match because I stopped someone who was trying to base bomb, and we had 1 minute left in the match. We could have just held back, or pushed with numbers advantage. Things to really stop doing. Unless the map is really small, like Arctic Base, stop ignoring beacons. Stop leaving the one person behind capturing the beacon utterly undefended. Stop trying to capture the far beacons. That never works out unless you already have your side of the map's beacons. Stop trying to call artillery support on units that can fly, or when there's no one to try and distract them and keep them grounded. Drop it when they're at choke points. Yes, I'm looking at you, the one moron who keeps trying to arty the Delta Gundam when it's mostly by itself and in motion. Call it on units that are clearly too slow to move out of the way in time, or on units that are absolutely camping. Be sure to take a minute and examine it. Also, don't call artillery support on units that are underground. You can take a moment to observe and see if they're above or below a surface, like in Colony Drop Site. Stop treating your mobile suits as extremely fragile. Not saying run in there and get yourself blasted 11,000 ways to Sunday, but stop being cowards. Stop wiggling in front of your teammates. And for the love of all that is holy, stop spreading out so thin. It's like you all are begging to be picked off one by one. Stop standing in the way. Why? Why is it at every opportunity I have, some moron just waltzes into my line of fire and eats a bullet? Why are some of you like this? What happened to you? I know a lot of you think you're too proud to cap beacons, but maybe consider actually capping them if nobody else does. Especially on big maps like Military Base, where everybody just goes for the nearest one, and that's it. Seeing people run by the first beacon without even thinking of stopping is always a pet peeve. But then they die, and didn't help out at all. Just remember, you forgot to get 50 points for your team, and now you have 0 points to contribute. Way to play as a team. Please stop planting bombs with less than a minute of match time left. The bomb won't go off in time. You're removing yourself from the game and you give the enemy a free, easy opportunity for some points. Stop doing early bomb planting. It returns very little points. And even as a diversion, it sucks because logically they can just kill the rest of your guys fast and continue doing so while you're babysitting the bomb or rushing back. In that case, they'll just kill you last. Stop doing this. If the timer is anywhere exactly 1 minute or less, stop trying to bomb the base. If the timer is anywhere around 5 minutes or more, stop trying to bomb the fucking base. It's not helping, unless your team and yourself are so shit you can't even think of any other way to contribute. Seriously, wait until you're actually in trouble to try the whole diversion tactic shtick. It's only viable the closer in score you are, and it's only helpful if you set it up in that sweet spot where they're about to announce that bases are worth more. To big brains. Stop trying to plant the bomb if there's less than 1 minute left. Guess how long it takes for it to go off. For fuck's sake, stop trying to bomb the enemy base when there is less than a minute left. Bombs. All noobs, please stop worrying about early bombs. You're wasting your time and putting the team at a disadvantage. It's very annoying when you are winning fights early on, and then an enemy decides to plant an early bomb, and then two of your own teammates leave the front line to deal with it, even though you can outkill the points of the bomb. Just stop. The game clearly tells you bases are worth more points after the last 2 minutes. Stop dying at the end of the game. If you have score advantage, try to not die, instead of rushing for kills. Learn when to retreat. There is no point in fighting when your team is in the lead. Stop giving them free points. You are not the protagonist of a Gundam franchise. Stop rushing in 1v2 or more. You are that random guy that gets killed by the protagonist in the first episode. Stop rushing into multiple opponents expecting to kill them all with your puny beam sword. How can people be this incompetent? Why in the name of Christ would you just ignore a base bomb in the last minute of the game if it makes the difference between winning and losing? Especially if there is literally no one nearby to stop you from disarming it.
Please stop blindly running into a group of enemies and fighting them in an open space. When it's 30 seconds left, you are low on HP and the team is leading. Please just run instead of getting yourself killed and losing the game. How hard is it to think? Stop being dumb fuck teammates and defuse the fucking bomb, please. What the fuck is wrong with you guys, eh? Could you just look at the top of your screen and notice that some motherfuckers just planted the bomb in your fucking base? I hereby humbly beg you to pull your head from your ass. Learn how the game works and please stop being lobotomized suicidal monkeys.